home buyers over there right on top of the show. Moving on, we have Rekha Naik, who's dialed in from Mumbai. Rekha, how can we help you?
Yeah. See, our society has one flat per floor of 2,700 square feet built up, each divided into 7 units. In the last SGM, Special General Body, we have decided to have 5 share certificates of 50 each for each of the 7 units. That is 1750 per floor. So that all the floors will have the same share capital and 7 share certificates. Previously, the share capital was not equal on each floor, which was according to the number of agreements made on each floor. Is this step taken by the society okay and according to the bylaws? That is my first question.
Okay.
And the second one.
Yes, Rekha, go on.
Yeah. The second one is mainly, can we get an exemption from capital gains if we sell all the 7 units together and reinvest it in any other property, or is there an exemption only on the first unit and not on all the remaining 6 units?
Okay, that's a very interesting question over there. One flat is divided into 7 units.
Right.
And that is uniform across the society. That's a call that the society has taken recently. And if Rekha were to sell this as 1 unit, then can she avail tax exemption on all 7 of these, or does she get tax exemption only on 1?
See, as far as your first part of the question, that whether society can rearrange the share capital and then make it kind of uniform across the members qua the flat, that would depend on, I would say, the bylaws of the society. And if the bylaws permit, and if it is approved by the general body or a special general body, then I think the share capital can be rearranged among the society members. And I think that is perfectly legally valid, though I'm not a kind of a society lawyer, but this is what my understanding of the law. The second point with regard to that, whether all the 7 units can be considered as one flat. So that I would say would depend on the facts of the each case, but assuming that that for a, I would say for a legal perspective or contractual perspective, all 7 flats are 7 independent flats, then yes, certainly you can sell the 7 flats one together, and that would be kind of regarded either as a 7 unit or 1 unit. But I'm not sure how, from a, I would say from a physical perspective, you can really sell that 7 units. But if you are selling it to one party only, then yes, it can be possible, and therefore you'll have to sell all the 7 units to a single party because you can't subdivide the flat. And then the capital gain that you will earn will be kind of a capital gain from a sale of a residential house, and when you invest into another residential house, then you are entitled to kind of deduction under Code 54 of the Act to the extent of the capital gain reinvested. So if you have a capital gain of 100, and if you invest, if your sell consideration is 500, capital gain is 100, and if you reinvest 100, then your entire capital gain would be exempt from taxation. Hope I answered your question, Rekha.
So essentially, Rekha, you need to sell it to one person. If you're selling it to one person, that is one party, then you can avail capital gains tax exemption on all 7 units.
First question, because is it okay according to the bylaws whether we take this share capital?
Rekha, if you want, what we can do is we can get one of our legal experts to take that query. Now, that is something that deals with society bylaws. It's completely out of the purview of today's show where we are answering tax questions.
Yeah, so
we will, however, get that answered on Tuesday when we answer legal queries, right? Thank you very much for calling in. Do expect another call from our end to give you the answer to your legal question. Moving on, and you know what, Jayesh, before we move on, there's one other thing I want to ask you. Now, in Mumbai at least, there is this concept of Jodi flats,
yes,
which is quite common.
Yes.
People essentially buy 2 flats which are side by side,
right,
and which are just separated by one common wall,
right,
and they tend to break down that wall and put it together. Now, you've bought it as 2 different flats.
Correct.
What happens when you sell it?
Right.
How do you get capital gains exemption?
See, as I said, that when you do these kind of re-engineering or restructuring around the flat, then obviously you won't be in a position to physically sell it to 2 separate, I would say, the family owners, but it will be sold to one family, maybe jointly held by husband and wife or father, mother, kind of whatever it may be. And when it comes to kind of computation of capital gain, certainly that would be regarded as a two separate flat or a sale of flats separately, and capital gain would need to be computed accordingly, because what happens that when you are saying that a wall is broken and two units are being consolidated and created one unit, then what will happen that the cost of each unit would depend on the area of the each flat. And I presume, or what I would say the experience is that in that case flat A and flat B both are purchased on the same day and consideration is paid in the same day, kind of, right? So therefore you will have, I think, not much difference in the cost, but for a computation purpose technically you need to prepare, I would say, or calculate capital gain for two flats independently.
So even if it's a Jodi flat, like which is very common in Mumbai, you will have to compute capital gains tax separately for each flat. Even if it is one person, one party in that matter, buying both the flats.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at magicbricksnow. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.